I ran out of oxygen already. Wow, my breath control is... My breath control is... Okay, at least I know my mic works. Alright, hello everybody! I am finally back. It's been... How long has it been since I last streamed? When was my last stream? June 17th. It's been nearly 3 weeks since I last streamed. I am very sorry about that. My brain was not being very kind to me. Just going through a lot mentally. But, yeah. So, last stream, it was a while ago. Last stream, I got 74 from the beginning, which was awesome. It was a fluke from 52, so that's probably gonna come back to bite me later, but still awesome. And then off stream the other, like about a week ago, I'd say, I got 30 to 100 a second time. So, don't really know what to expect from today, considering I haven't really streamed the level in 3 weeks, and I haven't played it from zero in about as long. So, yeah, if I can get back to Etzer, that would be ideal, but I'm not going to expect anything, so why am I getting notifications? Alright, anyway, let's get into video gaming. So as much as I'd like to claim that, oh, you know, a bunch of things have happened... Why did I have sound stuff? Yeah, as much as I'd like to claim a bunch of things have happened, in my personal life, and that's why I haven't streamed in, like, 3 weeks, that would just be a lie. Because, like, realistically, all I've done is edit the third video, edit and release the third video, edit and release the first Aphrodite video, which, by the way, has been doing amazingly well. Like, I'm so happy that that video is doing well. I think it's gonna make for some really great content as I continue with the level. But yeah, I've just released those 2 videos. Been away from my computer for a while, and just been not really feeling mentally up to doing much of anything. But, you know, shut up, phone alarm. Shut. But yeah, you know, sometimes things just happen that prevent me from streaming, and they're annoying, and I just have to deal with them, so... Yeah, I'm trying not to waste too much energy on thinking about or worrying about things that I can't control. Which, you know, can be difficult sometimes, but I figured I might as well try to improve that part of myself, at least. What is this? It feels like day 1, or actually, I guess it would be day 3. It feels like day 3 consistency all over again. What? Like I said, day 3 consistency all over again. But just gotta wait for that one lucky attempt. So yes, today is stream number 9 of Bloodlust. Now, if you can count, if I do not beat it this stream, which is looking likelier and likelier by the attempt, unless I have, like, divine intervention or something like that, next stream will be stream number 10, which means 2 things. First of all, it's the most streams that a level has ever taken me. That's the first thing. The second thing is that it's the first time I've ever needed a double-digit number of streams to beat a level. So, you know, I fully expected this. I expected to take like 40 streams on this level. Granted, I also expected to take 40 on Black Blizzard, and I beat it in 9. But, you know. Let me try without the armrest for an attempt. Of course. Well, 14. New best for the stream, I guess. But yeah, in case it's not obvious, I've not played the beginning of this in a while. But you know, probably should have. I've mostly just been trying to focus on 25 to 100. Or I guess 25 to something. Jesus Christ. Just playing for 25, I guess. So, you know, a little bit out of practice with the beginning. Should have probably put in more than like 3 minutes earlier today. But, you know, Master Doge planning at work there. What am I doing? Like, actually, what am I doing? Maybe it's a little bit easier if I do this. Nope. And, like, the most frustrating thing about this is that I know that this is temporary. I know that eventually I'm gonna get consistent with the first wave again. And I'll just be making it relatively far nearly every attempt. But for now, although realistically, for right now, far means like Namtar. So. Yeah, 14 and 11. It's looking a lot like Stream 3 so far. But it is not Stream 3, it is Stream 9. Okay. Well, at least I'm maybe getting consistency back with the first wave. Who knows? So yeah, I'm going to try to force myself to do 3 streams this week, so this is the first of 3, and then do 3 streams next week before I have to leave again. So I'll be at ideally stream 14 by the time I leave for my dad's house next time. The only exception to that will be if I manage to accomplish my goals before then, for the next progress video before then, in which case my focus will be on at least starting the editing process for that. So, as for goals, I want to get 25 to 100. That's my goal from start positions. My goal from 0 is to get to, honestly at this point, just the corridor. Like, I know that's a minuscule jump in progress. That would be a minuscule jump in progress. But, like, it's Bloodlust. Any progress is good progress. And it would mean that me getting 74 the first time wasn't entirely a fluke. It was mostly a fluke, but it wasn't entirely a fluke. Okay, 31. I was way too nervous there. It's like 31%. That's like 3... It's like 40... Hi, Daniel, what's up? What you've just seen is the first good attempt I've had. The first attempt that's passed 15 on Bloodlust in like 35 attempts. So, but yeah, I just could not click there. It happens. So, wrong Google product. I say, and then I type sheets again. What is wrong with me? It's been a while since I've opened this. Jesus Christ. 200 times 2. Corridor. I only made one spelling mistake. I'm so good. And then 31. So unfortunately, the streak of me getting a new best every time I get to Evasium has concluded. So, yeah, but you know, I'll take it. That was also my 20th overall Namtar attempt. So I think that's good just to like keep it in perspective. Is the fact that prior to this, I've only had 19 attempts make it to Namtar from 0. So like even if I'm struggling to make it there, that's okay. How are you enjoying Bloodlust? It's pretty fun. Don't get me wrong. It's not. Considering that, in my opinion, Bloodbath is one of the worst levels that's ever touched this game, I actually really like Bloodlust. I'm having quite a bit of fun with it. It does lose some points just because the Bloodbath part's still having some issues. And also just the big four, basically, which are Mishi, Evasium, Namtar, and Asonic. But outside of that, it's actually quite fun, and I really like the extension. So it's probably gonna get... If I had to guess, I'd say about like high 70s in terms of enjoyment. But yeah, it's quite fun, even if it's just ridiculously difficult. Now, whether or not I would recommend it necessarily, that basically just depends on how good you are with ship and how good you are with nerf control. I mean, ship's my best game mode, and I'm pretty good at nerf control, so I feel comfortable going for this, but yeah. What? What's your ladder recommendation for Bloodlust? There actually was one of my GD friends made one. One of my GD friends made a Bloodlust ladder. So if you just search up Bloodlust ladder, because the thing is, I didn't follow the ladder as much as one might expect. I basically just did my own thing. Got to Plasma Pulse finale, beat that, and then just did the entire technology trilogy. But if you look up Bloodlust ladder on YouTube. One of my friends made one. It should just be called like creating the perfect Bloodlust ladder. So I think it starts with Bloodbath, obviously, and then I think it's Bloodbath, Ancestral Calamity, Asmodeus, Infernal Abyss, 211 or Audio Expulsion. Either of those work fine. What else? Astral Divinity and Step of Hell are next, I know that. I just can't remember what order they're in. Photovoltaic 2, Yadagras, Visible Ray, and then Bloodlust. So yeah, there's a very, not clear-cut, but very good ladder in terms of Bloodlust. I didn't use it personally because just there were a lot of levels that just were either just too hard for me or just didn't interest me. But yeah, in general, I'd say that's a very useful resource. But one thing I would say is do try to have Bloodbath beaten before you go for Bloodlust. Because not only is Bloodbath, Bloodbath, even if it is crap, but like it'll also get you relatively used to, like, the first 2/3 of Bloodlust. Obviously, the extension and some parts that have changed will, might give you troubles, but for the most part, it's just Bloodbath, but harder. So... figured it was gonna happen, but... Okay, good. I'm starting to get consistent with the first, like, 20%. But yeah, also do be warned if you're planning on going for this, do be warned that the balancing is, at least for me, somewhat similar to, like Digital Descent and Cybernetic Descent, in that there's a specific chunk of the level. It's like a 30-ish% chunk, like 30 to 40-ish% chunk. That is much harder than pretty much anything else in the level. So that in this level is Michigan, which is like 19 to 25, Evasium, which is 25 to 30, Namtar, which is 30 to, let's just call it 38, and then Asonic, which is 38 to like 46, and then there's not a transition in between that and Etzer. But yeah, as long as you just accept that those 4 parts are gonna kill you when you start going for it. Yeah, I'm going for Bloodbath right now, jumping from Crazy 2 and got 40 to 6 to 88 not too long ago. Nice! So is that... I don't remember Bloodbath that well. Is that like... I want to say that's crack to like... somewhere, like middle of crack to like Giron, is it? But yeah, considering... What would be your hardest right now? Plasma Pulse Finale. Which, you know, I probably beat that too fast. Because I beat it in a month and a half and 7,000 attempts when my previous hardest was EXO, so... Yeah, I think it... So, yeah, this Plasma Pulse Finale to this is definitely a decent jump. But, you know, I'd like to think I'm ready. Especially considering, you know, just generally the entire... I think I did gain a lot of skill from doing the Technology Trilogy, even if it took me over half a year. Which, you know, I can only attribute to brain bluzz. And college, I guess, but mostly brain bluzz. What? I did the same exact thing. What would you say a choke point is at in Bloodlust? Give me, like, 2 seconds. I would say the biggest choke point, bar absolutely none, is this section. So, like, 42 to, like, 45. Because, like, the ship is hard on its own. UFO with orbs is just difficult in the first place. More ships. These are, like, at really, really awkward angles. And then probably the weirdest swing copter I've ever played. So, yeah, even though I'd say Evasium is overall the hardest overall part in Bloodlust, like, the hardest full part, this is easily the hardest section, like, individual section of gameplay. So, yeah. So yeah, just know that, again, if you come into Bloodlust with the knowledge that 19 to 48 is going to absolutely murder you, you should be mostly okay. And also, another piece of advice I'd have for Bloodlust is just expect anything with the extension, because like a lot of people have said it's the easiest and most fun part of the level. A lot of people have said it's the hardest and worst part of the level. So, like, and there's been all sorts of opinions in between. So just be prepared to think anything about the extension, so that way nothing can truly surprise you, if that makes sense. What's your favorite upcoming top one? That's a good question, actually. Because the thing is, a lot of the top ones that are like coming out, I think, are examples of like a big problem with like increasingly shorter and harder levels. So like, I really would prefer if the top ones got their difficulty in length instead of raw difficulty, but you know, that is neither here nor there. I don't know if it's necessarily top one, but Glass Chapel, that level is awesome. Okay. Human Limit, I don't remember that level. The only reason I know that level is because there was a drama in one of the online spaces that I interacted with, like, around the time it was being released. So, yeah. Stupid death, but, you know, at least I made it to Asonic, so... Although, if you ask me, like, my favorite of the levels that I, like, definitively know to be top one at this point in time, probably either Heliopolis or Sweeping Demon 2. Like, those are both fantastic choices. Even if Heliopolis is apparently so repulsive that not even a $10,000 bounty can get people to stick with it. It is either, like, repulsive or just way too hard. It is one or the other. I don't think it's a both, but it's definitely one or the other, and I have no idea which one it is. Yeah, I wasn't in the community necessarily when this came out, when Bloodlust came out, but I do remember sort of like the effect it had on like just the demon list for the next year or so, because this was the first time that a top one had ever been a top one for more than a year. I think the total was like 381 days or something like that. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting, especially considering, you know, a lot of people... Do you think Society is a good top one? I'd say it's about the middle. In terms of, like, in terms of overall top ones. Because, like, I think it's just too hard, basically. Like, there's so many top ones, like, no matter whether it's, like, currently or for the time. I'll deal with you later. There's so many top ones either currently or for the time that, like, if they were, like, top, like, 15s or 20s, or, like, even top 10s, they would be so much fun. But because they were presumably not built with it being, or... Let me rephrase that. Because it was probably built, if I remember it correctly, when it was just like Tidal Wave, Amethyst, maybe Nullscapes, I guess, although I don't think that was ever top one. But like, that was sort of... I feel like a good name for it is like the Yatagarasu Curse, which is basically just when a level that was initially, like, top one by miles takes long enough to be verified that suddenly a bunch of new top ones have been built and released in that time. Because, like, if I remember correctly, all that Yatagarasu had to deal with at the time was, I want to say Sakupin Hell? Yeah, I think Sakupin Hell. When it was, when Trusta got it. And then later Thanatos was verified, which was like, oh yeah, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder than Sakupin Hell, but not by much. It's still probably a pretty comfortable top one. And then Sonic Wave happened. So, but yeah, I think that level is like the shining example of levels that if they were like top 15s or 20s, they would be so much fun, because it actually does look like very fun to play from just watching it. But it's probably much worse to actually play it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just safer to not speak on how Zoink relates to that level, because there's just so much controversy with like pre-practice and using no clip to practice and possibly attempt lying and yada 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 yada. That it's just, what would you say was the perfect top 1 Stalemate Redux? I know this is an unpopular opinion, but like, look at it. It's not like too unbalanced or anything. There's not any individual like super choke point parts, except maybe the UFO, because that's not even the creator's fault. UFO is just a god-awful game mode. It makes you feel amazing doing it. It creates just amazing intensity. So, yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna get like a truly perfect top 1, but in my eyes, Stalemate Redux is as close to a perfect top 1 as can exist. And, like, granted, it was only top 1 for a period of, like, 5 days. But, like, Fireworks was top 1 for exactly 18 seconds, and yet we still consider that a former top 1. So, yeah, Stalemate Redux is absolutely a top 1. Although, then again, Firework would probably also be a good contender. It's either, like, Stalemate Redux... Well, I think the answer changes based on whether the question is what's the best top 1 in terms of quality, or what's the best top 1 in terms of being a top 1. Because, like, if it's in terms of quality, Stalemate Redux easily, but if it's in terms of how good it was at being a top 1, I do think levels like Slaughterhouse do give it a challenge in that sense. I might go for Stalemate Redux soon after Auditory Breaker. Yes, absolutely do that. Again, just keep in mind that the UFO is probably going to kill you. But, like, outside of that, it is so good. Like, I think it's one of the highest enjoyments I've ever given an Extreme Demon. I know I gave it like a 98, which I think I think the only levels that I've beaten that I've given higher than a 98 are Dora Dora and Endless Dream, and both of those are hundreds. So, I don't remember exactly. I would have to like go back and meticulously look through every single one. But yeah, in terms of like enjoyment, like the top 3 enjoyments of the extremes I've beaten, I think it goes Dora Dora, or Endless Dream, Dora Dora, and Stalemate Redux. What do you want for your final hardest? That's funny you asked that. I'm actually like creating the goal. Ultimately, the goal is to actually create my final hardest. So I released a video on that like last week. Just the first steps of building something like around Kino's difficulty to both make and verify myself. Because like I like, because I'm a college student and because I'm hopefully going to like be an actually productive member of society, I've accepted that my time with GD, like being able to play at a relatively high level, is much more limited than I had previously thought. So, and with my physical health too. So I'm like really drawn to the idea of having a final hardest that's also my own creation. So, previously it was Firework, but I just don't have the time. Well, let me rephrase that. I would have the time if I jumped, but I don't want to do, like, that major a jump. And also, I don't think I physically could. Because, unfortunately, I'm chronically ill, and my eyes are getting worse. So I'm not at the point of like having to seriously write off levels like Fog or Killbot. But like my physical health is not where it was in like 2021. Which is unfortunate, definitely, but you know, it's the hand I've been dealt, so I just have to live with it. Ah, okay. No worries. Sister Connie, yeah, you probably have much more time to like continue playing than I do. And also probably, again, have the physical health to play longer than I. So but yeah, I think a good final hardest for like anyone would just be something that like tests everything fairly evenly. I'm like very much in favor of the idea of creating your final hardest, because the way I see it, it's meant to be like the absolute pinnacle of everything that you're capable of in the game. So yeah, at least that's the logic that I'm using. Your mileage may vary, it probably will vary, just because nothing about how I play this game is normal. But yeah, that's the thought behind it. What game mode would you say you're carried in? Ship, which is ironic because I'm actually struggling very, very hard with the ships in this level right now. But yeah, if this was like 2023, I would say one of the timing game modes. But for some reason, since switching to PC, I've just become like really good with ship. So, you know, the final hardest that I mentioned I'm creating, it'll probably be very ship-heavy. So, you know, I will try to make sure to not have, like, a focus on one specific game mode. But, you know, it may end up being, like, really ship-heavy by default. If that's the case, I'm sorry, but it's just how I play. What? Minus the classical wave? In what sense? Like the game mode you're carried in? Let me go to the start pause copy really quickly and just see. So if I hold for too long, that happens. If I just... That is so... It doesn't happen in the... What? Top 150... Wait. Okay, man. Yeah, that is so weird. Okay, I did spell it correctly. Yeah, when... I have a tendency to... Because you generally do not look at my keyboard when I'm typing, I have a tendency to, like, just fat finger one of the other keys. So yeah, it's not a good habit. I really need to start looking at my keyboard, but... Yeah, and that's also why I generally, again, going back to the, you know, why I probably don't have all that much time left in GD, that's also why I can only stream for about an hour, because, like, anything past that point, my finger just gives up on me completely. I think I did a 2-hour stream once, and that's it. Yeah, I'm a mouse player. Because, like, the way I see it, the way I saw it when like Sayo and CBF were first being like touted as alternatives to what we had in 2.1. I just had the thought in the back of my mind that like I know exactly how much you can do with just like native 240 mouse and no CDF, and I also know that I am nowhere near that point yet. So, and that's sort of what my GD career since switching to PC has been. It's just been pushing myself in pretty much every way possible. That's why I can like pretty consistently go for levels that would be in like around my top 5 when I beat them. The only extreme that I've beaten that hasn't been in my top 3 when I beat it is Plasma Pulse 3. That was number 13 on my hardest list, and then I immediately followed it up with Plasma Pulse Finale. Yeah, they're becoming rarer, and I mean, I guess I understand why. Because, like, Sayo and, like, Wooting and stuff are probably better, but again, it's that sense of stubbornness, basically. Even if I probably would be able to avoid deaths like that, on Sayo or Wooting, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, if you didn't, I don't think you were there for stream 3. It was basically me fluking all of Michigan and Evasia my first time there from 0, and then dying at the 11% ship for legitimately half an hour. And I just, for some reason, I could not figure out anything that worked for me. So I'm very glad that this has not been a repeat of that stream. And I'm very glad that I've, for the most part, diagnosed my issue with that part. It just might not look like it today, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I genuinely wonder which of... Because I know Sicky's also going for this, and I know EVW is also going for this. I wonder which of the 3 of us will beat it first. Because, like, obviously Sicky had the, like, huge head start. Like, he got 79 before either myself or EVW really gave thought to doing it. And then, but then he took a break for a year. So, and EVW's, like, just started, but that dude is just, like... He's bizarrely good sometimes, so... Especially if I stagnate, who knows. Okay, bro. That's just a thing that I have to deal with. And it's like genuinely... Just playing on up arrow just hurts my finger after a while. It's much more painful than it would be than when I spend like an hour or 2 hours on mouse. Yeah, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I think most of my issues this stream have stemmed just from the fact that I haven't really played this level from 0 in like 3 weeks. So I've sort of fallen out of the rhythm. So yeah, again, barring divine intervention, I'm probably not beating it this stream, but that's okay. There had to be a double-digit stream level at some point. So, and I am proud that this one was the first. That being said, I would definitely like to beat this before I go back to school. Okay. Figured. Was honestly a little bit surprised that I fluked Evasium all the other times I got there. Oh. But you know, I'm making it past Michigan. That's the important thing. I really wish I hadn't choked like an idiot at xSmokes that one attempt. But what can you do? All I can really do is just put it in the past and then try to do better next time, even though that was definitely not better. But I digress. Okay. Yeah, that's what I expected from the 39 attempt. So, oh well, would have liked for that to get to Etzer, but 44 I can't complain about. So. Yeah, alright, at least I'm capable of actually, like, doing something when I get to xSmokes. All right, bro. That's definitely a death I can learn from. Thanks a lot for that. Yeah. I just had a thought. So, like, generally, I don't get a lot of viewers usually. Like, I'm usually around, like, the 3 to 5 range, which, you know, I'm perfectly okay with that. But I wonder if there's been, like, a streamer that's been, like, so desperate for viewers that they'll, like, actively try to bribe the people, like, with like, either, like, monetary incentives or just, like, other kinds of incentives. So, I would never consider doing that, because I would rather, I have my dignity, thank you very much. But, like, surely there's been someone that's scummy enough to have actually tried that. So, yeah. Especially, like, once I started, like, somewhat frequently streaming. I don't stream frequently by any means, but I stream somewhat frequently. Just the greed that certain streamers have, it's honestly just depressing. Because, like, you're sitting in your chair for the most part, like sometimes there's like other things that are being done, but like you're sitting in your chair, you're playing video games, or you're like doing like reaction streams or like giving your opinion on politics or something like that. That is not an invitation for anyone to get political, but like, you get my point. You're sitting in your chair and you're doing something that does not, that you're talking to people online. Like you have no right to be greedy like in the live streams themselves. You have no right to like beg for donations and stuff like that. Like ironically, you're gonna get a lot more in the way of donations and like good publicity if you're genuinely appreciative of even the smallest donations that you get, because like it means that someone enjoys watching your content enough or cares about you enough that they are willing to give you money so that you can continue doing what you're doing. So like, why would you beg? It's like, it's literally just everything to lose and nothing to gain. Which I know is the exact opposite of how that phrase is normally, but I don't care. So anyway, yeah, that's probably gonna be the rant for this stream. I feel like there's always like a specific topic that I like, whether it's triggered by like me initiating it myself or something that someone in the chat says, whether directly or indirectly. But I feel like there's always a topic that I just go on a really long tangent about, which, you know, there's a lot of things that I think could be a lot better, whether it's with streaming or like with my future career hopes, which is like acting and music, which I have a big one saved for next stream, but I would prefer to do that like during the more active parts of the stream. But yeah, it genuinely there's some topics that, you know, I try to be positive mostly, but there are some topics that just make me upset, and I know that they make a lot of people upset as well. So and something that just makes me upset, it would be really nice if my thumb decided to like pop back into place, because I'm like 99% sure it's out right now. So it's a good thing I'm not a controller player, otherwise I would just be dead in the water. Yeah, generally I have a lot of respect for like controller and like mobile players, because first of all, you know, having been a mobile player myself until like 2023, and keep in mind I started playing in 2017, to like be able to do things you've been able to do on an objectively like much crappier device is really impressive. Controller, especially so for like controller, because like a lot of people, there's a lot of like wave and ship levels on PC on the demon list that a lot of controller players really struggle with, because they're like, again, they're almost entirely ship and wave. So when someone actually does manage to beat them, or like something with like really fast spamming, it's really impressive. Like I think Tria genuinely has an argument for being considered one of the greatest players of all time, along with Brandon Larkin, because like Cold Sweat and the Golden, he's just, for a controller player, especially considering he was the first to do so for both levels, he was the first person to beat them on controller. That is an absolutely just bonkers resume. Like, that is so impressive. So yeah, in terms of the GOATs, like, I don't want to get into a debate about that, but I do think the controller players definitely deserve an asterisk. Because that is, like, objectively a much worse point. Especially, like, mobile players. Like, I think someone beat Firework on mobile. Like, that's insane. Like, that's genuinely insane. Although I wonder, I want to say that like Thunder BT beating Bloodbath was sort of like the. Actually, I'll wait until after this attempt. That was quick. But yeah, I think Thunder BT beating Bloodbath on mobile was sort of like the catalyst for a lot of people to like realize, oh wait, the mobile players aren't just being like left behind at an absurd race. Like they're actually capable of a lot, if with enough time and patience. So yeah, I think it's awesome that the mobile scope of the game has continued to be so successful, even if I never got up to the skill levels that a lot of them are getting up to. I have been asked to do something. Give me like a minute. There we go. I've returned. Unfortunately, my cat is not quite at the intelligence level to take care of herself. But no matter. Let's just keep going. Okay. Wow. I don't know what is up with that. It's never been this bad of an issue before today. I wonder if it's like something it has to do with like how you do the wave before it. But like that's my only explanation, because I'm doing legitimately the same thing every single time. But oh well. There's something I gotta adapt to. Because like blaming the level for something that's clearly a me problem is not exactly constructive, I'd say. And it just serves to just make you feel bad about yourself or like make you feel good about yourself for no reason. So some things I will accept, like if I get a lag spike at like 70 something and that kills me, like yeah, that's I'm allowing myself to be mad at that, because that clearly was not my fault, unless you're trying to tell me that my computer having an aneurysm has something to do with the amount of times I'm clicking my mouse or whatever. But like most cases, it's just easier to accept it as my fault and move on. Oh, my finger really hurts. yeah, unfortunately, I could probably only give it another 10 minutes or so, and then I have to end because my finger is just done. So yeah, it's the unfortunate thing of playing GD with a chronic illness. But again, for having not played the level seriously from zero in almost a month, I think I've reacquainted myself with it fairly well, so nothing to be upset with there. Gotta deal with my hair. I have way too much hair. Nice. Okay. Okay. Stupid death. That is a really stupid death. But I got to answer. I got past it, in fact. So. But yeah. So all I really wanted was to get to Etzer one time. Oh god, I didn't... neither my 52 nor my 50... Yeah, neither my 52 run is not accounted for at all on my list. So, yeah, total of 4 attempts. So that was my 5th Etzer attempt in total, and my 2nd to make it past. So, yeah. And I should also probably... Yeah, my sheet thing is... I don't even know. So yeah, I'll probably play for like 5 more minutes. But, you know, I got to answer today, so I will take it. And I have a feeling my progress is going to be a very slow crawl. But yeah, all I wanted was to get to Etzer and hopefully get a new second best. And I did both of those things, so I'm happy. Get a second best that's within 20% of my best. Because, you know, fluke. But, whatever. How we doing? Pretty good, Rowan, Ryan, and yourself? Okay. Also, I just realized, I think that was my first Etzer attempt to not end in a new best. But 42. 42. I'll take it. Because, yeah, that gap is hard. That gap is really, really hard. But yeah, today has been a very up and down session. Well, let me rephrase that. It's been a very exponential session, I'd say. Because, like, I started the session with, like, 10 minutes of not being able to get to Michigan at all. Then getting to Namtar once on a bit of a fluke. Then getting to it with something resembling consistency. And I just got, I think I just got 2 Asonic attempts in a row. I'm not sure. I'll check the bot after. But yeah, so I've gotten to Asonic 4 times today, and I've gotten a new second best, so today is a good day. What was that? I was clearly... Can I ask you a question? Yeah, go for it. Unless it's a troll question, in which case preferably not. Because like I'm fine with answering questions, but if you're just gonna like troll or be caustic or something else, no. But if it's not that, then go right ahead. That was so bad. Oh my god. Okay. Honestly, the fact that I lived for that long after that horrible way of doing the first ship, I'm amazed. So, can't really be mad. So what was the question exactly? Unless my guess is that the dude realized that his question was either a troll or caustic and decided to respect my wishes of not having that, which fair enough. This keeps happening. Shut up, phone. Anyway, how long have I been streaming? I'll go for a little bit more. I would say I'll go until I get another attempt at X, Y, or Z, but I know from a session yesterday, last night to be specific, that just means that I'm gonna be there for another half hour and just be raging and in pain most of the time. Okay. I thought I was dead at 25 anyway, so oh well. 42 times 5. So it has taken the lead in terms of the places between Namtar and Edsert, or enveloping Namtar and Asonic that I've died to. So, yeah, 42 is now in the lead. So... So honestly, I think this stream was just what I needed, because I'd honestly been, for the time, I had just been kind of dreading playing this level from zero, but no, it's really not that bad. It's really just, as long as you do it, it's not that bad. I had neglected to do it for like 3 weeks. I'm a budget-friendly artist, and I make custom art like profile pictures, banners, stream deck, emotes, etc. Continue, please. Would I like to see your portfolio? Sure. Just I have a bunch of other places to contact me in the description. So just send it to me on one of those. Well, maybe not Twitch, but you get what I mean. Go to channel. Although I might not be able to, because I don't really have any means of like paying for things directly, like online. So I might not be able to accept anything, but I do appreciate the thought. If you don't mind, may I ask your reason? Well, let me do this attempt first. Basically, just I don't really have a consistent. First of all, I don't really have a consistent sort of source of income, and second, I don't really have any like money accounts or like accounts for my money. Like I have a checking account at like a physical bank, but that is literally it. So. But yeah, if I could figure that out, that would be nice, because some of my stuff could probably use an upgrade. Okay. I'll do this attempt because it's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm done. That was fast. Alright, so... yeah, so for the first time ever, I will be doing stream 10 of a level, probably on Thursday. So today's Tuesday, I think. So... yeah, today is Tuesday, so I'm probably gonna stream again on Thursday, and then probably every other day for the next couple weeks. So wasn't able to do a lot today, but you know, I did get 55. I did get a few asonic attempts. I got consistency back with like the first half of the level, or like I guess the first quarter of the level, because I've done plenty of practice with Evasium and on. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling much better about where I'm at on the level, and I think this stream was just what I needed, because like I definitely been dreading the idea of streaming this level for a little bit, but you know, I'm definitely feeling much better about it now. So yeah, and on that note, see ya.